Yo, what's up, YouTube world? It's your boy CJ. I am back, and this time I got my boy Casey coming from New Jersey. How's it going, bro?
What's going on? I'm good. How are you today?
I'm good. Yo, listen, it's a Saturday. We on here. We live. It's been a minute since me and you chopped it up. But listen, it's gonna be a super dope conversation. I've been waiting to talk to you for a while because, like, bro, I know you might not look at it like this, but I look up to you with the YouTube thing, man. Because the long form video content you've been putting out there is super dope, and I want people to know about it. I want to know people about you and your story, everything you got going on. But how you been feeling, bro?
I mean, good, man. It started 2024, so got a lot of plans with the YouTube, with the traveling. So, a lot of good content coming up in the future. So, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yo, yeah, I'm excited too because today we're going to talk about a little bit of the long form editing content, for long form content on YouTube that you've put together and that we see a lot of people put together. Because a lot of people, Casey, I'm gonna keep it real with you. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I want to get on YouTube this year, CJ. Oh, I'm gonna get on YouTube. I'm gonna get on YouTube," and I'm like, I'm trying to emphasis to them how it's a different ball game than these other platforms. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work that people don't understand that goes on in the background. And it's all about, I don't have to preach it to you. It's all about being consistent with the content. Because if you're not consistent, it's hard to really stay on track with that stuff.
Yeah. Oh no, we want you to picture. We want you to get into details. We're gonna talk about it because the people don't think about me. Think about it for everybody. Like they need those gems. And so after that, we're gonna talk about a little bit about you creating your podcast. What's to come with that? We're gonna do a live Instagram audit for someone. Yeah, she was brave enough to say, "Hey, CJ, you can do my Instagram audit live on here." So that's gonna be cool. And then we're gonna talk about some other stuff too. But man, let's just get right into it. Like we were just having that conversation about YouTube, which in a second I'm about to pull up your YouTube channel just so people can see it and they can subscribe and follow. But talk about like the whole process. Like let's start from the beginning. How long have you been on YouTube?
I want to say I've been on YouTube for probably about 4 years, like in and out. I say my most consistent time that I really focused was around COVID, around the 2020 year, because I was working from home, didn't really have much going on, and I was just in the crib just trying to figure out ideas, and I just started pushing stuff out. And then it just kind of, I was trying to figure out, like, I want to say like my biggest issue was trying to always figure out what to really focus on. Is it the focus on fitness? Is it the focus on travel? Is it the focus on clothing? Because I just really wasn't sure what my angle is. And I guess with a lot of people, it's tough to really figure out, what your niche is because everyone's doing it. So what makes you different? And I guess that's one of the most difficult parts of really trying to put the right content out.
No, I mean that's a great point. What you just said there. Like when we look at your YouTube channel, like you put out there like lifestyle, fitness, the plant-based lifestyle. Like you said, like sometimes people they feel like they have to be niched down into like one like it's super tight, super niche. And I'm like, well, you can't do that, but people usually when I find out in YouTube, think about it like the people you follow too, and tell me I don't want to speak for you, but a lot of people that I follow on YouTube, like I follow them for them and their personality, and I like them. So even if they branch out and show me other things, I pick and choose which of those videos from their library, their catalog that I watch. But it's not going to make me feel like, oh, I don't want to watch them anymore. I'm not going to subscribe because they do other things.
No, I agree, and I think that's the biggest thing because I always thought Instagram is just a platform where people share a lot of random things. You don't see a lot of personality, but YouTube and certain other platforms where you get that long format content where you get to hear people speak and dialogue that you get to learn people and you really start to gain real fans. And that's what somebody broke it down for me years ago is YouTube is that platform where it's not about just posting, it's growing a community because people follow you for you, not just for the content that you're creating for you as a person. And you can come and be unique or you can be genuine. It depends on, what you're trying to push out there. But I've always loved that because you gain real fans about the person you actually are.
Facts. Because like think about like what the vlogs you're doing. Like when I bring up your page again, like with the vlogs you're doing, like these when you go into depth of them, like it's a lot of your personality, it's a lot of you, and it's like with the filler content that you get on social media sometimes, like when we talk about traditional social media, like the shorts and the reels and like even TikTok sometimes where it's like super fast, it's entertaining people, but it's not really like giving you a feel for the person. And so like what you're saying there is like you have a chance to really know the person. Like one of my favorite people to follow on YouTube was FB Aftermath, Teron Beckham. And like he will go everything from working out in the gym to he'll go the fitness stuff, and you know, so to video games, to he'll do an expo, he'll show stuff about him moving his house to a new area, to a new city, so him and his girlfriend doing stuff like it. You never know what's going to be in his content, but it's like you really feel like you know him. When I met him in person, I was like, man, I've been following your content for a while, and it's like, and I could talk to him about certain things, even though you don't know the person, you feel like you know enough about them, where it's like you feel more connected with them.
No, I honestly, you feel like you're a friend of them, but you don't really actually know them yet because they've shared so much. And when you talk to them, you can speak about things that they've posted, and it hits like a trigger point where you can actually have a genuine conversation with somebody because there's actual facts and information behind that story.
And so what kind of, like, let's talk about the long form content, because when we talk about that, traditionally, like I said, right now, it's something I mentioned in the previous show. People are pushing, are pretty much like comfortable right now with short form content, because that's what everyone's being forced in with the
I
reels.
I just think it's easy. It's easier because there's not a lot of effort behind it to push a short term format. But when you have to think about a long term, then it becomes ideas, points to hit, and it gets a little more difficult where people kind of shy away from it.
And then so like what kind of things that I could tell you a few things that I struggle with, but talk about you, like when it comes to, is there a little bit of hesitancy when you feel like, man, this video is 20 minutes, this video is 50 minutes, you feel like I gotta shorten it? Do you ever feel that pressure?
No, I don't feel that pressure. I just though the only reason, like to be honest, I'm probably sitting on maybe 3 to 4 unedited YouTube videos because my thing is I'm afraid to put it out because I don't think it's gonna do well. So
Mm.
that's my biggest thing is I've recorded a bunch of fitness things. I've recorded a lot of workout videos, long format, probably give or take 20, 30 minutes. But I'm kind of hesitant to put it out because I'm like, do people want to see it? Am I just talking? Am I just chatting? Because, I've grown over the last couple of years and the content I would put out now in 2024 would be more of like my real personality because I feel like when I first started, I tried to be the high energy guy, and that's just not me. As you can tell, like
Oh yeah, you're
I'm
very
very
chill,
mellow.
bro. You're
Yeah,
very
I'm very
chill.
chill, very mellow. That high energy is not me. So I just wasn't sure if someone was gonna click with that. Being the mellow man I am, it's just so I'm just sitting on those videos like should I put it out? Not sure. Plus, when I go and edit that content, it takes a while to edit that content. It's just not put it together and spit it out. It's if you want music, it's if you want edits, if you want effects, things like that. So it's a bit of work that goes into that stuff.
Yeah, and so like for me, and well, to speak to your point first, when you talk about feel that fear of, when you talk about the fear of, will people enjoy it? um like I used to have that, probably I would say when I first started on YouTube, and even on other social media platforms, where it's like, will they enjoy it? But then I got to this point, and I can't tell you what the magic formula is.
Mm-hmm.
At some point where it was just like, I don't care. Maybe I think what happened was, I think the formula for me was just getting a little bit of success, and then you
Mm-hmm.
start to realize like there are people who are watching, and the people who are watching, when they get the most value out of it, whether it's three people, five people, whether it's one person who has enough of a influence when they talk to you and they say, "Hey, look, you really helped me out. I really appreciate that. I changed my perspective on that." Or an opportunity comes from something where you're like, man, I didn't think no one saw that, but you actually want to work with me. Like that type of thing is where it was like, oh, forget
Can
that.
I
I'm just gonna post it regardless.
I could actually speak on that real quick because um I want to say when I did focus on Instagram, now I told myself in 2024 is I don't care. I'm gonna post whatever I post on TikTok. I'm gonna post on Instagram. But when I truly did not have a TikTok and I focused all my time on Instagram, my following wasn't that big, but I was getting so many hit ups for brands, things like that, wanting to work with me, and I turned a lot down. It's just because, you know, I always look at it at the same time too, as like me being vegan, you have to be ethical to me. I don't want to work with just any brand just because you're throwing money or you're throwing some type of compensation behind me, because I want to work with a brand that believes in me as a person and my vision and what I'm trying to do, instead of just saying, hey, sell my product, you'll get 10%, 50% cut off of it. I'm not really interested in that. And that was a lot of probably my time focused on that, probably around 2021, 2020. It was just a lot of brands hit me up, and I didn't answer a lot. They just weren't for me.
Connect. So yeah, good point. And standing on your morals for that. And so with those brands, and we're speaking about, they were coming to you from Instagram, right?
Yeah, they were DMing me from Instagram, and then also emailing me.
How often were you posting on Instagram back then? Like, if you had
it's probably the same as it is today. I want to say probably 3 to 4 times a week.
okay.
Yeah,
And
still.
and where you repurpose, was that primarily your number one platform then, or what was that?
That was the focus of all my time. That
Mm-hmm.
was the focus of all my time. It was just focused on Instagram, focused on how to grow myself and give people information that they can learn from, not just like entertaining. So I guess that's where it was a little bit different, where it was just like information, workouts, things you can do at home during COVID. No, like a lot of the time, especially during COVID, was to focus on people who didn't have any equipment. How can you work out at home with no equipment? So I was posting a lot of that, a little bit of that on YouTube, and a lot of that on Instagram. Just focused on band workouts and little tiny dumbbell workouts,
Mm-hmm.
like no dumbbell workouts. And I guess it would to me it was a fun time. Plus, you being home and me not having gone to an office every day gave me a lot of time to sit and edit and want to play with the edits. And now it's a little different, but yeah, the brands were reaching out, and I did accept a couple. To be honest, I want to say, like, to people too, like, don't get your hopes up, because a lot of that stuff probably lasts about 6 months before they decide to probably move on and try somebody else, because they're looking for these extreme numbers most likely, and us smaller creators, we can't hit those numbers. So a lot of the contracts probably lasted just a couple months.
Yeah, no, man, you hit on a couple of good things there. A lot of times, those deals, they're not they're not lifetime deals, like you said. They are literally for a quarter. You're lucky if it's for a quarter. Sometimes it may be for a month, right? They may
Yeah,
just
I
be
did
reaching
one
out.
for a month as well.
You know, they want to see results, and if they don't see the results, or they don't feel you bring enough value to them, most of the time, you're like, I was blessed enough, where I was working with Mizuno running USA for since what, man, even so this year, all the way from 2018, I believe it was 2018.
Wait, let's talk about that, because I saw you do that, and I was like, this man got a running shoe deal. Like, how the heck that happened?
Yeah. So the running sneaker deal, like, that was crazy in how it happened. So it started out exactly like you said. Like, they reached out to me, and by the way, my primary platform back then was just YouTube, right? It was I'm not sorry, not just YouTube. My primary platform at that point was Instagram.
Okay.
And so when I would run, I would just go ahead, and every time we run, just back then on Instagram, the number one thing was always use hashtags, use hashtags, use hashtags. And of course, when I ran, I would use a hashtag all the time. I would either hashtag Atlanta, hashtag running community, hashtag whatever. They found me by the hashtag that was in my post, like Mizuno social media team. They were looking for ambassadors, or I should say, influencers, to come through for a special show, a special kind of like a get together at their headquarters. So they picked me as one of 20 people. And then from there, they invited me to this event. So I'm there with all these other influencers. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, this is really cool. I'm just happy to be there, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I meet the team, and I was like, hey, This is awesome shoot, thanks so much, whatever. And I do content with them like on the spot, like boom boom, I'm going above and beyond, right? I'm recapping, I'm doing stuff like nobody else is doing. They see that. But then I was doing so well over that first month that we talked about with content. They were like, okay, this dude got something. I was
Oh,
like,
so
I reached out.
you went all in.
Yeah, I reached out above and beyond. So then they was like, hey, how about this event that's coming up, the Peachtree Road Race, the biggest 50, biggest 10K in the world. Always happens here in Atlanta every single year, July 4th. How about you do a takeover for it, CJ? Okay, cool. I do a takeover for it. I do a social media takeover. I blow them away with the content, right? I blow them away with it.
All
Where
right,
it's like,
let's hold on. Let's talk about that.
yeah.
How do you create your content? Like, where are you getting your ideas from? Because my biggest thing is I don't want to copy somebody else's entire page,
Mhm.
but it's hard to figure out what to post, especially for a brand when they want something. I'm like, what do you want? Like, you got to give me detailed information. But how did you do that?
So for me, I would always blend in my personality. I didn't worry about what somebody else was doing. Like if you see like people like, here's the thing, and I always joke about myself. I always say, yeah, I'm the corny, nerdy dude, whatever, da, da, da. And I always make fun of myself. And so no matter what, when I do my skits, it's always going to be in that realm where it's like I'm just being me. I'm not going to make myself seem bigger than that. And a lot of people, when they do these ambassador deals and such, they want to make them seem perfect or bigger than everybody else. I was just uniquely relatable. I'm the everyday person. Like, look, I am not a personal trainer. I'm not the best runner. I'm putting out content that literally is just like funny and like, hey, I'm struggling just like you. I'm out here dying, da da da. And so my content automatically was just different because it's relatable. A lot of times when people get these deals, they feel like they got to live up to, oh, I got to make it look like a Nike
Professional
commercial,
account,
or
right?
I got to make it look special, and I got to get the drone shots. Yeah, all that stuff is cool, but
Yeah, yeah,
that's not relatable.
yeah. I
And
get it.
so that was the key for me. And then how do I come up with the ideas? First of all, it's a blessing because I'm just creative, but that's just like, and then I'll literally try to take anything. You can give me anything, I can relate it to almost anything. So, like for example, you give me a clip from the movie Friday, I can somehow take that audio from the movie, your favorite scene in Friday, and then turn it into a fitness skit. That's kind of how my mind works. Like, how give me something and I can make it work related to something else. And that's kind of how I'm different with it, where it's not like, let me just jump on the latest trend of what everybody else is doing. Let me find what I like. I like this sound over here on TikTok. I'm gonna bring it over and I'm gonna make it my own.
Yeah, and I do that a lot. Like I'll pull a trending sound off TikTok and just throw it on YouTube. No, on TikTok and throw it on Instagram as well. It
Mm-hmm.
may not be trending the same way. It may not even be found, but I like it, and I'm just gonna use it just because I like it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And honestly, that's it right there. That's it. So when I did the takeover from Mizuno, going into that, it was like, okay, cool. I'm doing it live. I'm literally doing the extra and beyond to keep that deal. So guess what? Once that deal was over, that small ambassador deal that we were talking about, that
Mm-hmm.
extended, and then then I started getting paid contracts for the year to do
Nice.
quarterly content, like literally paid checks. Like before I posted anything, the check would come in the mail, and
Nice.
that's everybody's goal. And I was like, then I posted,
Yeah.
hey, I got a sneaker deal. So, and I have a sneaker contract where that's why you've never seen me wear Nike, Adidas, or anything like that sneaker related in the last 5-6 years on my page.
Mm-hmm.
Because when somebody's paying you to do that, you're like, hey, no problem. And you're gonna
Hey,
send me free
I'll do
shoes,
it too.
and you gonna send me free. If I call you right now, give me some free gear.
Yeah, and I think that's everyone. I think that's every small creator's goal. And I know it's a big thing, and everyone wants to be sponsored by Gymshark, whatever it may be. But those are few and there. But that's their goal. We all do this because we're like, okay, I don't want to do my 9 to 5, and maybe you do want to do your 9 to 5, but I want free something. Like I want to do something. I want to get a second job, make some income, or just get free products. And I think that's a lot of our goals why we started, and that's probably the wrong reason why we started.
Good point. And
Mm-hmm.
to add into that, a lot of times people make the mistake of always shooting for the biggest company first. And I'm like, you don't even know how to have a conversation with Nike or Adidas when you can't have a conversation with a smaller brand first. You can't even do that.
Do you know how many times I'm in the gym and I speak to people and I'm like, oh, you do social media? Yeah, but like, I need Gymshark. I'm like, you need to bring that down. Because that's like, I understand you want Gymshark, but like, Gymshark chooses 30, 40 athletes across the world. Most likely that's not going to be you. You need to bring your hopes down. And I'm not saying don't drive for the best, but hit those smaller brands up who actually want to be the next Gymshark. Because they'll probably focus majority of their time on your success rather than their brand success. Because they want to see you do good, so that helps the brand do good.
Come on now, you're talking big now. I wish my sound effects is working. Listen, on the recap, I'm gonna put the sound effects. But look, I got this stream deck and I got buttons here. I'm pressing sounds you can hear, but don't worry, I'm gonna get that working. But it will be dropping fires right now because now you're talking big. Like that's it right there. Like you come up with the brand. So, like for example, Mizuno Running USA, like the freedom that they gave me, the freedom that they still give me to this day, if I reach out to them and say, hey, let's do something this way. The team loves me. I can go to the headquarters is literally right here in Atlanta for the USA. I can drive there in 20 minutes and go in the office. And I can work with them and I come up with ideas. Hey, boom, let's do this. All right, CJ, boom, whatever. Let me run around the office and make content. All right, cool. Like, you know how hard it is to be able to get that type of pull and one of these other bigger brands. Like, and now that, guess what? I've had 6 years of success with them. Now I can go to, if I wanted to, an Adidas or a Nike and have a conversation and be like, look, this is what I've been doing for them for years.
Yeah, pull your
like,
portfolio well. Yeah.
Now the portfolio is there. Now I know what to expect. Now I understand the industry better. Now I know how ambassador deals work. I've worked with multiple ambassadors. I got the proof. I got all that behind it. But and so going back to it, like I want to go back to this real quick too, because we're talking a little bit of everything, but I love it. I love that fact we're talking ambassador deals, or we're talking about, because this is where I love about the show is like we're organic with it. I want to ask you about this. When we talk about your YouTube channel right now, it sounds like, because I know before it was show me and you talked, this is your primary goal and it's not Instagram. Talk about why Instagram and the short form content. Like, I know you like TikTok, but let's just stick to why you don't like Instagram right now.
I feel like that the community over there changed the way they've pushed the app into more of a selling me something app, more of a selling me a product, more of a an agenda thing where it's like my algorithm is very like all over the place, and I really don't enjoy that part. And I feel like if you're not a huge person, they don't push your content in a genuine way. Like I could post something that's really good, super clear, high quality video that shows something that you can learn. And don't get me wrong, someone may not like my content. That's okay. But I don't feel like they do a good job with pushing your content out. And I've noticed that, and I've tried multiple different formats to push stuff out, long, short, like something that's 60 seconds, something that's 15 seconds, 20, 30, and I've tried it. And I just don't really like the way they do it. But I could repeat that and put that on TikTok and it does better. Or, as you know, YouTube Shorts, and it'll kill it on YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
But Instagram is still like, okay, like, what are you doing, Instagram? Like, and I guess that's why I've definitely put probably more about 20% of my effort into Instagram these days rather than any other platform. I've focused more on the YouTube Shorts and the TikTok platform.
Yeah, I would say I feel like my biggest video of last year is on YouTube Shorts of the biggest reach, most engagement, the most. I gained like 400 subscribers just on one YouTube short.
So people don't understand that too. I've gained, and I haven't posted that much because I told you I've been a little bit on the afraid side to post, but 2024 is definitely a different year. I've got so many subscribers just off my shorts because the way they push their reach and the way, and I like it. And I did a lot of research on how they push shorts out. And from my research is you can post 5 videos in 1 week. And what they'll do is they'll push each video slightly different to see if it'll hit different, to figure out how to push your content. And when they figure that part out, you'll get 25, 30, not 25, 2,500, 3,000 views just on your shorts, which gives you, as you know, you can gain a good amount of subscribers. And, you know, subscribers usually stay with you because it's YouTube. And those are genuine people who probably want to follow your story and see some of your content. And I've always liked that about YouTube Shorts. And I was excited when they dropped it, those YouTube Shorts, because they have a great reach.
Yeah, they have a huge reach, and like I said, when grabbing all subscribers and everything like that, it just changed the game. And so for me, I would definitely, suggest. I've been suggesting people like, why not just like you said, take something on that's on Instagram, put it on Shorts, put it on TikTok, and it's fine. Guess what? I'm not putting extra pressure on myself to create something for every single platform. You can get to that point when you have a team and you're making six figures and all this money. You can have all these people make all these efforts. We're not Gary Vee yet. We're not. As much as people will say, oh, you got to do this, you got to make it organic. Listen, there's only so much time you have in the day. You still got to live a life. You still working a normal job. You still, you're trying to be a content creator, a producer, a host, and all this stuff. And you're trying to do all these things. You cannot literally say, I'm going to do all this on my own. You can't. But what you can do easily is make a piece of content that you like, that you feel resonates with your audience, that gives value, that's entertaining, and post it everywhere. That's easy. That's and I don't know why people will post something in one place but not post anywhere else. That doesn't make sense.
I think they're afraid of posting the same content, like you just said, on all three platforms, because I believe that they think, okay, if I post it on TikTok, I gotta slightly change it for Instagram and then slightly change it for YouTube Reels, because what if there's some overlap? Who cares about the 5 overlap people? What about the 2,000 overlap people, the new people who haven't seen it, who are now gonna say, oh, all right, they haven't seen it because they don't follow your TikTok. Because I want to say probably 90% of my TikTok followers do not follow me on Instagram. It's a whole new audience.
And then on top, it's a whole new audience. And then at the same time, we can't complain and say, oh, well, my stuff is not getting seen. The algorithm is not showing it to my followers. Then why are you worried about them seeing it again if you believe they'd never seen it the first time?
There you go.
You can't have it like, oh, they're not showing it to my people. But then you say, oh, well, I don't want to repost it everywhere because they might not already see. You just contradict yourself.
Half the people in there haven't seen it.
And think about it. Everyone's attention span is like less than a goldfish, and they don't remember if they seen it or not. And if they did, too bad. They more than likely, if they really rock with you, they're gonna like. I can literally see something like, for example, I'll give you an example. The stuff with Cat Williams or whatever with Shannon this week, went crazy, right?
Yeah. Just
because I seen it on Instagram does not mean if I see it on TikTok later on, I'm still not gonna laugh at it. It doesn't.
So that's a good thing, because I've seen the same clips on TikTok 100 times of those videos, and every single time I click like, and I've seen it already because it's just hilarious. So it's just like, I've seen multiple times where I've overlapped content, and even if you overlap the content and it's a different creator posting it, I still enjoy watching it again. And people don't understand that's the point about it. It's just like, okay, it still hits a point where you wanna be entertained, because we're on these platforms to be entertained more than anything. So it's like, if I see something again that I like, I'm gonna sit and watch it again. It may be only 20 seconds, but that's only 20 seconds. I'm gonna keep it moving after that.
Right. And I know we want to talk about your podcast in a little bit, but before we get to that, let's talk about what you use to edit your long form content for YouTube. So it's like we were talking about a little bit earlier. A lot of people don't realize how much is involved when it comes to this long form YouTube content. Like, it's not a game. It's not like it's a big effort involved with it. It's software you got to use. You got to sit down and really kind of plan this out. So talk about your process when you're making these vlogs that are 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Like, what is your process for that?
So when I first started all this, probably back in 2018, 2019, I tried to use iMovie. I've always been a Mac user, so I've had that. That was funky to me to use. So I transitioned to a more professional platform. So I've been using Adobe Premiere Pro probably ever since 2019. And that's how I edit 70% of my content right now. Because I just think it's more, it gives you more feedback. It's more options to kind of do whatever you want. It continues to update whenever they have some new software update. They have a lot of plugins, especially for podcast editing. There's so many companies that give you plugins, LUTs, things like that, that it just makes it so simple. But I get it. Some people don't want to pay for it. It is a subscription every month.
Mm-hmm.
I've been paying for it for the last 5 years, whatever it may be. But I also use CapCut. And I know a lot of people still are kind of on CapCut, but I use CapCut a lot too because
Wait. You're using, let's make this clear for people. You're using CapCut for long form editing for
so
YouTube.
so I'm using CapCut for my long form, um, like your 1 to 2 minute TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
YouTube format, the shorts, like anything like that goes over like 60 seconds too. I will use that
Mm-hmm.
for CapCut as well because of how easy it is to use when you're on the go. So like for the 20 plus minutes, it's kind of hard to use CapCut. I've used it on my computer as well, especially for when I'm editing promo videos for YouTube, CapCut. But then majority of my time is spent on Adobe Premiere Pro.
So Adobe Premiere Pro is a different beast in itself. But
Mm-hmm.
once, like, you've been using it since 2019, so you've got a chance to, you're comfortable with it now. Would you?
Well,
Are you
I
comfortable?
wouldn't. The thing is, you're not gonna always remember how to do something on that platform because of it's a lot of steps. But do you know who the best teacher is? Is YouTube. I just type in, how to put cinematic bars on again.
Yeah.
It shows me in under a minute, and I could just do that and then keep it moving.
Mm-hmm.
So people are afraid of the learning curve of these bigger platforms like Adobe and Final Cut. But if you learn it through, YouTube or any other platform, these things can be shown to you in 60 seconds, and you could just mimic those and make it as you want. And I don't think that people should be afraid to use these professional platforms because it also gives you the ability to create high quality content, rather than doing things on iMovie or whatever it may be, because it gives you more freedom to tweak your audio, tweak your video format, from the 4K to this to that to the H.249. It's all these different ways where it gives you more information to do what you want to do.
Look, you got my boy Najee in the chat. It's like Premiere Pro is where it's at.
Definitely.
Hey, listen, I'll be honest with you. I'm be honest. Like, this is a transparent moment for you guys because between you, between Najee, between some other people I respect and I've been talking to recently, I have this Mac behind me. And I said this on another show before. I am not comfortable with it. Yes, I am not like perfect with everything, like you said. So when I go in there, I'm slow as shit when I'm recording. And when I am slow when it comes to edit.
Yeah.
Like, I come on here on this window, like I use my Premiere, Power Director. All the stuff you've ever seen from me on here is literally from Power Director on here. So it works for what I do, but
Mm-hmm.
I know there's another level of quality that can come from using the Mac, and I don't know why that is. It's just what it is. When it comes to
Well,
when it even comes to streaming, I look Ecamm Live. I know it's going to be a little bit higher quality than StreamYard. I know it
yeah,
is, but it's just easier. This is.
yeah, that's true. And I don't even think it's too much about the Mac or PC, whatever it may be, because when it comes to Adobe Premiere Pro, it works on any platform.
Yeah.
So it depends on the specs of your computer. And I
Mm-hmm.
guess people sometimes don't understand that. Let's say if you're on a MacBook Air, most likely you won't be able to edit the right way because the information won't be able to be read fast enough because of most likely your memory. It might be 8 gigs or lower. Speed won't be there. But it's about the specs, and it's just give it some time. I think people need to play around with those platforms. I mean, like Adobe Premiere Pro, because it just gives you more freedom. And then when you get a workflow, like you just need to get in there, get a workflow together, know these little points that you always need to use. Or little tip: if you edit a YouTube video and you use a lot of cuts or effects, go back into that project and just throw another project on top of it and use some of the same things you already had in that project, and it's almost like the same workflow. So you can always save it as a new name or just continue to save on top of it. Like when I first started editing Instagram on Adobe Premiere Pro, I just had a file called IG post edits, and I would throw every IG in that same post, delete the last one, overlay a new one, edit it out, and then save it again, and over and over and over and over again because it was the same workload. So I didn't have to create a new project every single time.
Yeah, you just put us on the game there, and that's a great point. Yeah, to bring up like having it's almost like a template. You have your own
Hmm.
template now where every time you want to go in, you don't even have to be searching all around looking for this file, this for this logo. You just go back into it, drop
Hmm.
your new video on it, move it where you need to move,
Hmm.
and there you go. And I do that. You know where I do that with? I do that with InShot and I do it with CapCut for my promo video. So like there's certain stuff from whether it's Everyday Fit Weekend or
Hmm.
Lubrification or Fitness on University, any of the brands that I'm working with on that project. And I know like if I go into that draft, I'll call it a draft, but I'm using it as a template. I just drop the
Hmm.
video, move my stickers, move my words around, and
Yeah.
keep it moving.
No, that's perfect, and that's the easiest thing to do. Is to just kind of keep the same project going, and then continue to just keep moving.
Mm-hmm. Najee says iMac or Mac Mini with the M1 chip plus Premiere Pro is a game changer for editing.
So I actually have the Mac Mini with the M1 chip. I love
Mm.
it. I got it when it first came out. I've been using it since it dropped. I don't know, two years ago, whatever, when that Mac Mini came out, and I love it because my whole setup is with the Mac Mini at the back, and I got two uh, LG monitors, two 4K LG monitors, and I love my setup. It's easy, it's work. I sometimes I think about maybe I should have upgraded my memory to the 16, but I got the 8 and the Mac chip. It works seamless with the
Talk
computer.
about your setup there in the back. Like how much you've invested in your whole setup, you think in the estimate?
Mm, there's a lot of waste of money, but I have I've had I've had a lot of different pieces over the years. So when I first started my setup with the Mac, I had the Mac. I had the wireless Apple keyboard. Didn't really like how it felt, so now I work with the what do you call it? And I don't know what you call these things now, but like the old school keyboards with the clicks.
Is that what that is? It's like a
Oh yeah, you can hear
oh
it in the
my god, it
back.
sounds like a typewriter.
Yeah, so there you go. It's like a typewriter keyboard. Love them. I love how the
What?
feedback is. Yeah, it's I love the feedback. Then I use a Logic wireless mouse.
Mm-hmm.
I used to have the Apple mouse too, but it just I don't like the way it feels,
Mm-hmm.
but especially because it's so flat to the ground. So I like more of a little top on it. And then I started off with a 32-inch LG 4K monitor. This is probably one of my favorite monitors. I love it. It's
Wow.
budget friendly too. I believe I paid somewhere around maybe 350, 375 for that monitor. And then sometime last year, because I also use my setup for my PS5, I have another 4K monitor. This is 60 hertz, and this is 120 hertz monitor. And I got this for future streaming as well.
Okay.
Because I also have an arm in the back that's
Mm-hmm.
attached to the desk, so I can turn this as a vertical view.
Yeah. And that
Hmm.
is crazy. I have my monitors here. Like, hold on, I'll show you if I can show my camera. But you see, like, literally this monitor here, it
Hmm.
swivels and it's in the air.
Yep.
And then I have this monitor here,
Hmm.
which I'm watching you on. And then I have my desktop here, but then I have my tripod, right over here,
Nice.
which is live. I got my MacBook where it's over here. I mean, my Mac over here. So then when I'm streaming from there, because I'm actually gonna start working on Ecamm Live, and it's streaming over this way. So I'm gonna have a background on this side too. So yeah, we
Nice.
building it out. We working on it. We
No,
working.
no, yeah, definitely. And people you don't have to have these expensive setups
No,
because
no.
I know the iMac, the Mac Mini is probably like 1,200. The monitor is 350. That monitor I think was like 270.
Mm-hmm.
Keyboard is like $50. The mouse is like $50. So you don't have to go that deep in your pockets. You can start off with, your a standard 32-inch or smaller monitor. It doesn't necessarily have to be 4K as well. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, most people are not even watching in 4K. Most people
Hmm.
are not even watching it. And so, and Najee said we have the exact same setup, you and him. And by the way, you two, listen, you guys have I was like, I already know he was going to connect with you because, first of all, you're both vegan. You both are like, you remind me of the same person. You're very, very techie, very smart. Um, into like bodybuilding and all that stuff. So yeah, like literally like you two are like, I was like, I already know he was gonna be tapped in with you. The fact that y'all have the same setup does not surprise me.
That's cool. Yeah, I didn't know anyone had my stuff. I had a feeling somebody, a lot of people have this Mac Mini, but that's cool to have that same like setup. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't know if you've ever seen him, but like on the previous episode, but yeah, he's super dope. I'm gonna definitely connect you with him on outside of here. But yeah, the your setup an example, you would say, I don't know, more than 5 bands you spent?
Oh, I wouldn't say that.
So less than 5 bands.
Yeah, I would say most likely, but probably around that 2 to 3 mark.
Okay, so
but spread out, completely spread out. It's one piece at a time, then save up and one piece, because I'm not dropping all that money at the same time.
now I just said he not rocking with your keyboard though.
Nah, that keyboard is nice, man. People don't understand, like that keyboard, it feels comfortable, and the thing is with this keyboard, it's a light setup where every time you press, it gives you feedback on what you're pressing. And it has a lot of different.
Did it light up when you pressed it?
Yes, it does. It lights up each key when you press it. So it's cool, man. I like I've tried multiple keyboards. I've had just like your simple LG flat keyboard, the Apple keyboard, and this is the keyboard that I felt that it was more comfortable to me, and it just looks better to me.
But look, I gotta be nosy for a second because I need to know about that stand, that blue light underneath the monitor. Like, what's that? What we doing with that? Like, how much that costs?
With the stand?
Yeah, that blue light underneath there. Yeah.
Nah, so that blue light is just that's just extra little pieces I got around the house. I have a bunch of LED lights around the house. So that's the LED pointing to the back of the desk. But then I have a floating glass. I don't know what you call this, but it's like a glass stand that the computer used to sit on. When I used to have it a little higher, and now I just keep it just because, as you see, it looks nice. So when the lights are underneath the computer or the desk, it makes it have a nice appearance to it.
Okay. So less than 3 bands, 4 bands, 3-4 bands, you can have that whole setup right there. So Mac Mini, the 2 monitors.
Yeah, 2 LG monitors because I really like LG.
2 LG monitors. The keyboard is how much? What are we talking?
I'll say give or take $50-$60.
$50-$60, and then your chair.
The chair.
You might want to know about the chair.
The chair has been a loyal chair for a long time. My wife's been talking about getting me a new chair for a long time, but I'm like, man, this chair has not failed me in a long time. But I probably bought this chair 4 years ago. It's just been rocking with me.
So I bought this little gamer chair probably, I don't know, it was in 2020 when I had to change my living room into the office, if you will, right, the studio. And so I think it was like $100, $110. But the fact that I hate about these gamer chairs, and I don't know about you, but I hate that they come in like freaking 50 pieces. I'm like, bro, like, it's a chair. Why is it in 50 pieces and I don't have none of these things to put it together? It's like, that's just me though. I hate putting stuff together.
I think that's why I stayed away from, because I don't have a gamer chair. I stayed away from the gamer chair, and to me, it's like I just prefer the modern simplicity look of just a simple chair. But she wants to give me a better chair, a chair that probably comes in 1 or 2 pieces. A lot more money, because I know a good chair. A good chair probably costs you a couple $100.
So, what, you taking a shot at my chair?
You could have got a simple chair. You could have got. I don't need all that red border behind it. You could have got a simple chair.
Yeah, it's like the pillow. I don't even be on this pillow, bro. I don't even be on.
The thing is, I'll never have my head that far back.
Like, who plays like this?
Some people do. I think so. I don't personally, but I think some people do.
I got to get into it, especially if I'm playing Madden. I'm leaning forward.
Yeah, I'm going forward. Yeah, definitely.
But so I would tell you real quick before we talk about your podcast, the last thing I'll say about the long form content on YouTube. So regardless if it's going to be Premiere Pro, whether it's Power Director, find what makes you comfortable and within your budget. Maybe for a while you might have to, like, listen, I've done long form, like 20-minute videos, 30-minute videos in InShot, and I've done it in CapCut. Like, I'm not saying that's a long-term thing, but if you need to get started with that, don't be hesitant to, hey, record something on your phone and say, hey, look, I ain't even got that big setup. I ain't got a Mac yet, or I ain't got enough money for these softwares yet. Literally, you can do it in InShot. You can do it in CapCut. Get you, even if you want to do like 15, 20-minute videos. I've done like a 45-minute. I wish I can find it here, which one I did. It was a big recap I did on my Instagram page one time, and I literally did it all in InShot. Now, granted, it took a little bit longer than it might be in a computer, but it got done.
Yeah, and I think too, for especially for beginners, CapCut, if you want to edit YouTube in any long-term format, it's so easy to use. The buttons are big, they're labeled, it's straightforward. There's no hunting for certain things, how to do this, how to do that. It's literally right in front of you, and it's free, and you can download it to your desktop, and it doesn't cost you anything. You could, and I say, just like you said, InShot, like these are there for beginners to use it and get comfortable. And if you decide to move to a different platform down the line, great. But you don't have to. You can stay with these free apps because they work.
So real quick transitioning, because I want to share a couple of more things with the people before we get to the question. So we said we were going to talk about editing YouTube content. Like we went all around with that, which is good. Like I love that. Now, hopefully you guys got value out of that. And by the way, before we even go further, tell people where they could subscribe to you, because I need them to tap in with you. Tell them to subscribe to your YouTube channel, but also what other platforms.
All right, so YouTube, definitely look out for some content coming soon. The YouTube, I like to promote myself as my full name, so I'm Casey Pleasance. You can find me on YouTube underneath my full name, Casey Pleasance. TikTok, Instagram is going to be _, or just type in vegan fitness, and I guarantee you I'm going to pop up as one of the top, because I keep that in my title for a reason, because I pop up all the time, and it's an easy way you can find me as well. So _, on every platform, or just type in Casey Pleasance, and I'm guarantee I'm popping up.
And so let's talk about also this podcast. Let's talk about it. Tell me what's to come from that. So somebody clicks here and listen to this podcast. What are they in store for?
So that podcast was started a couple of years ago. I had an idea, and the ideas kind of dried up. It's because it's not that easy to always draw up ideas and try to come from it. But I wanted to have a platform where we can talk fitness, culture, and just kind of a lot of things that go in your mind. And I have a couple episodes that I've recorded that I'm waiting to post. But it's a platform where you can learn something from. I want to give people knowledge of a vegan diet, or just any diet, because I don't judge. And we can talk culture and a couple different topics, because I have an episode coming up. We're gonna talk about that Cat Williams. We're gonna talk about how he got no filter. So you can find that underneath the Pump and Culture podcast, which is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And I'm going to be dropping the videos on my YouTube as well. And just tap in. If you love to be a guest, because CJ, I need you on that now. It's over. You're gonna be on there.
Done.
I need people to tap in, help me promote that. If you want to be on the episode, I'm open, honestly, for anyone who has something knowledgeable to want to share, or if you just want to chat up with me. Let me know. I'm looking for guests. And
can it go? Well, wait a second. If I'm gonna be a guest in the show, I gotta come in like Cat Williams. I'm dropping fire.
You gotta start going right off the top. Just start.
I'm coming in. I'm coming on fire. I'm ripping everybody.
Yeah, you gotta start spilling information as soon as you walk through that door.
Yeah, for sure. So your podcast, so you don't have to be in person. There's going to be a virtual element.
Yeah, I'm definitely what I'm doing is because I have a lot of friends who I'm from Jersey, who don't live in Jersey anymore, who are going to tap in soon. So I'm transitioning myself, and I'm literally writing up plans and ideas right now over the last couple of weeks to really try to amp it and go hard in 2024 and put that implement of video, so I can just continue to keep pushing content out. Because the idea was the hiccup was every time I tried to link up with somebody, our schedules always had a conflict. Hey, you're busy, I'm busy, this and that. So it kind of pushed me into a bad spot where it's like it wasn't working. So I kind of took a hiatus on it for a little bit.
Okay. So listen, by the way, when I talk about podcasts, just like anybody now that really kind of got into the space, it ain't just posting on YouTube and running. Like sh- distributing this to all the streaming platforms, the descriptions you have to make, the titles, and
Hmm.
the pictures, are to say the flyers, and like how the labels are going to look. And when
Yep.
people go to Spotify and they go to Apple Store and then the Apple iTunes Store, like all this is just like it's a lot involved. So, how do you feel like when? Like, how do you feel like you are with that process now? Do you have your own stuff streamlined? Or are you still kind of figuring out how to distribute everything
No, that
smoothly?
stuff is completely streamlined. Um, in my free time, I record podcasts for other people right now. So
Hmm.
what I do is I help them and I focus on um, editing the short content for them. So what I'll do is I'll and I do this all in CapCut because
Hmm.
it's more simple. So I'll draw points off their videos, cut it off with Premiere Pro, put it onto CapCut, label the text, format it for TikTok, Instagram, put a watermark on it, and it's easy. It's
You know,
easy. So right now I've got it down to a science
do you
where
use Restream or what do you use?
no, I do everything is done off the camera. So
Okay.
I use my Sony camera, record everything, then it gets uploaded into Premiere Pro. Then I strip the audio off of it.
Hmm.
Then I upload it onto Spotify podcasters,
Hmm.
and then it worked. And then it's just like that. And then that'll upload it to Apple and Spotify, and then I draw all the video parts, and that's why I edit the video parts on CapCut.
So what I use, and I'm gonna pull it up here. What I use for to distribute this stuff, it's called here. Where is it at? Let me see if I can. That's your page. Let me share this tab instead. It's called Simplecast.
Oh, I've heard
Uh,
of this before.
yeah. I use this, and so like it literally, I would upload my audio to here and the
Mhm.
description and everything like that, and it distributes it out to all the platforms from there.
Is it
And
free or is it paid?
this is paid. So and it was like it's $15 for basic, which is what most people need to start out. Like you don't need 4 seat members, you don't need 50K downloads per month. Because honestly, these people are not even listening to on Simplecast. They're listening to it on the the Google podcast or the Apple
Hmm.
podcast. They're not listening to it on here. So $15 a month, or you can pay 13.50 if it's annual. You got to pay for the year, but $15. Honestly, I've had like super success with it. Like, let me see if I can pull it up here so you can see. Apple Podcast.
I
And I'm
think I've
going.
used Spotify because it's free.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but like you said, it's more work. So you actually have to. It automatically uploads to Spotify, but then you have to copy the link, say log into, let's say Apple Podcast to upload it there. It's a little more steps, but it's free to do it. So that's why I've done it, and I looked into this in a little bit of time.
By the way, how about that 5-star review on Apple? Come on now, Apple
Nice,
Podcast, five
nice,
stars. But yeah,
nice.
you see the season all distributes here. So all these like this all happened by literally like I said, it goes to the Apple Store. It goes to I keep saying Apple Store, Apple Podcast. It goes to Google. It goes everywhere. It's like 4 or 5 different platforms. It goes
Mhm.
to literally from just posting in here. And
Pull
so
up
yeah.
the let me show you the Pump and Culture podcast. Pull that up real quick.
Okay. Let me see. Let me
I want to
type.
show you those stars.
He said, look, don't shade me. Hold on. Let me see. All right, boom. Pump. And it's and like this culture.
Pump and Culture podcast.
Boom. Look at that. It's ready to fill it in. Look,
That's
Google.
not, no, it's there. It's there. You see those stars? What's those stars?
Okay.
You know what I
Five
mean? You know,
stars.
it's a start for both of us. We're still working, but it's
Mhm.
there. It's there.
No, I love it. I love it. Okay. We have 5 stars, and look, we got the episodes lined up. So you're not doing seasons, it's just a continuous series.
Continuation, yep. Continuation.
Mhm. Yeah, for our podcast, we're doing like we haven't done season 3 yet. It was like just because of the schedule, we decided to for ours we were just going to do when we have buckets of time to kind of build it out. You
Mhm.
do all those episodes and move on. So and we didn't do any episodes for a long time. So when season 3 comes out, it'll be like a whole new
That's
thing.
good.
So it's gonna be fun, but it's crazy because I actually got somebody who reached out to me about the podcast recently in the last month. It's kind of crazy. Like when you put stuff out there and it's evergreen, you never know still how people resonate with that stuff. So it's like even if you don't even do anything for a long time, it's still doing what you got to do. It's still baking.
It's still out there. It's still getting views. It's still people are searching. So it's always a positive thing. Yeah.
And then, so real quick, let me pull this up too, because I know this is the first time we've done this kind of like this, where someone's recently asked me, "Hey CJ, can you do an Instagram audit for me?" And I was like, "Yeah, I could do it right now, but how about this? I'm gonna do it live on YouTube because I'm going to YouTube tomorrow. But you guys subscribe. Like if you look at my Instagram stories, I made her subscribe to the channel, so then that way she can watch it.
Awesome.
So that's a way for one. I know she's gonna watch the show. I know she's gonna watch the replay because I'm gonna send her this after. I'm like, you want to know the answers to your audit? You got to come on my show and watch it. So I got a view and a subscriber.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Come on. So, and then by the way, so I'm gonna just look through it. I'm gonna give some feedback, and then I'm gonna get your honest opinion too.
Okay.
All right, cool. So let's pull up her page real quick. Wait a second. I gotta present the screen. All right, boom. So, all right. So, I don't know. Can you see that? Is that too small?
I can see it.
All right, cool. So, if you guys can't see it totally on the stream, I'll kind of describe it to you. So, it's a juice company, right? Local here in Atlanta. It's called This Leaky. This Leaky's Juicery. Juice, and so it's the description is a smoothie and juice bar in Stockbridge, Georgia. Cold pressed juices, wellness shots, and more available for pickup and delivery. Text Leaky to order today. So, okay, cool. What do you think about that bio so far? You know what she does?
Cold press.
Yeah, cold press juices, and boom, we know we can text her. We know that you can pick up from her or delivery. Cool. I don't know what
located at.
It says Stockbridge, Georgia.
Stockbridge, Georgia. Okay.
So, like honestly for that, and I think if I'm not mistaken, she's telling me that she's going to be moving to Midtown Atlanta. So honestly, I would already kind of like put like an Atlanta metro area.
Yeah, I would pick a large area. I would never specifically give you a small area that's not near like I live in Jersey, but let's say I'm doing a business, I most likely would write down New York City because it draws more attention and you can reach more when you say a bigger area, like you said. Like I say, I'm located in Atlanta.
Totally agree with that. So yeah, so that would be suggestion number one. Let's go ahead and change that bio to where it says instead of Stockbridge, Georgia, let's say Atlanta, Georgia, or Atlanta metro area and surrounding cities, however you want to say it, right? I would also say like this, if she has a slogan, I would like it there, whether it's, if it ain't cold press, it ain't right, or the best juices on the planet, or whatever. I feel like she has room for a slogan there because right now she's just telling me it's fresh cold pressed juices, wellness shots, and they're available. That's it. I don't have any type of feeling or connection to it yet.
Yeah, there's no connection or background to why you're selling cold press.
Yeah, I like cold pressed juices. Okay, cool. What if I like me and Casey might know, but for a person who's never juiced before, don't really know why that's a benefit. Say, hey, we use only cold pressed juices because XYZ, because it da 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 da. You can do that or put a slogan in there is what I would suggest. These highlight covers, I'm not a fan of them all being the same as your picture up here. Yeah. It feels one of those things, and I'm not being disrespectful when I say this, but it feels lazy, or it feels like it's not much effort put into it. It's like, oh, I'll just use the same picture everywhere. I'll just use the same picture everywhere.
The way I see it is, it seems a little cluttered. An image put up multiple times.
Yes. And so it's just like, okay, cool. I just put these up there, and this clutter to me, like we gotta like for this right here, this first circle is for reviews. So let's put whether it's a picture of
a person reviewing it, or like you're saying, or like a picture of the drink or something a little bit different.
Events, it could be literally a picture of you are at the table. Yeah, booth photo, perfect. The menu, maybe it's just a picture of one of the juices, right? Locally grown. Oh, I definitely need to see the farm. I want to see. Let's. If I click locally grown, what we got? That's what I want to see.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I wanted. That should be the image.
Yeah, that like right here. This right here, that circle. This
Yeah,
circle right there at the bottom left, that's it.
yeah, that should be the image.
Come on now. And she told me, she's like, I buy these locally in Georgia, like right here in Georgia. I'm
So
like,
a little tip too, the fact that she buying it local, share the process of you going and buying these things, images, videos, stuff like that, where people can connect to you getting your supplies on like locally, like you're showing us now, but give us more
mhm.
about it.
Yeah, yeah. This is underneath the menu. This is the menu one. So this is the menu highlight one. So okay, I get it. Well, she has a highlight for me, but even if it was just this white logo here instead of the red one or the same black one that was up here, like
Hmm.
that's still fine to me. If you use that, like using this right here,
Hmm.
that's fine. Now, if we go to events, okay, cool. So this events tab has not been updated in a long time. Let's see how frequent. Let's let it play
I
through.
think too that when not everyone needs to use those tabs up top because we don't always add something new,
Yeah,
and
like
it
this one,
gets
the last one is
lazy.
8 weeks ago. Yeah,
Yeah, it looks cluttered sometimes because I personally don't use that function as well as much as I used to do. And if you don't use it, just get rid of it.
yeah. I think she's gonna use it though. She needs to, because even right now she is like actively in events in Atlanta, like even from yesterday and how I met her. So it's like, hey, that event from yesterday should have been in here. You posted about it on your feed, so let's post it in this highlight as well. And
Mm-hmm.
then honestly, the clips that even when I tagged her some stories yesterday, just add it to here.
Yeah.
Just add it to here. Those reviews and stuff. There's a review I know for sure I tagged her of somebody testing her, drinking her a watermelon drink that could be tagged here. And then this is obviously this last one. This is probably the most important. I didn't say last, but the first one, the reviews. Anybody who's tagging you with something good in your Instagram stories, like, hey, I love the product. Hey, this is the best. Hey, I'm supporting them. Just go ahead and add it to this one. Cause like this is full with reviews that are positive. Like that's what you want. So somebody comes across, they're like, oh, look at all these people who are enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
Look at
Agreed.
all this. Like, like that was a good one.
I agree.
Look, the mayor of Moro. Come on now, the mayor
Yeah,
of Moro.
that's good stuff.
This is, you know what? What I'm be looking for is like, remember all these things now. Now we're gonna see if this is on your page because we just in the highlight section. We ain't even look at your page. Like all these people are saying that they like it. All right, boom. Yeah. Who else? Let's just make sure.
And
Ain't nobody.
especially when it comes to companies and brands, you should be reposting this stuff and trying to figure out how to post this on your feed somehow. Because people, you need to draw some type of um, audience from this type of content.
Look at the baby. Aw.
Yeah. Like I wish instead of most likely this was probably just posted to her stories.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow it should have been posted to her feed.
So now let's go through. Let's just scroll down. We're not gonna click on everything, but let's just scroll through and see what we see. Okay, here's one that might have been in there. Oh, this is looks like a good. Yeah, this is when this is in the highlights.
Nice.
Now, by the way, let's look at the timing of this though. 18 weeks ago. Okay, so that's between now and here. So she doesn't post frequent on Instagram. So
Hmm.
that's one thing I'm noting. But like these, okay, so she's doing a good job in putting these in her reels.
Well, one thing, would you say that that logo is not needed there? Because the logo seems a little cluttering the screen.
Um, I would say yeah, the logo is not needed to be on like top of the whole thing. So like you don't put the logo at the beginning and at the end, something like that, where it's just boom, flashes in, flash out at the beginning,
Yeah.
flash in, flash out the end. But to cover up the juice and the people, and it's just like you said, it's taking the attention away from their smile.
Yep.
It's
I
taking it.
now because I'm my eyes are focusing on the logo and not what's going on in the video or photo because
Mm-hmm.
this is in the way.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. This is a slide with pictures. This is really I like
That's
this.
nice.
Now
Yep.
here is where I would honestly put the logo in the corner.
Yep. Of a photo, correct.
I'll put the logo in the corner saying, "Hey, even if it was a little caption at the bottom, this is why we support local farms or we support local farmers. We
And
only
how
shop
long ago
local."
posted?
This is 22 weeks ago.
Yeah. The thing is too, don't be afraid to repurpose this. Reuse
Mhm.
it. Use a different photo, change
Oh,
it, flip it, just continue to post because these things have so far, so long ago that people might have forgot. Just keep pushing it out.
Not might have, they have.
They
Ain't
have.
nobody remember this. She
No,
don't
you're right
remember it
though.
from
I was
22
just
weeks
trying
ago.
to be a little nicer, but you're
Yeah,
right.
you know me. I'm just like, hey, I gotta keep it real with them because at the end of the day, how you do it is, you watch Nightcap. You watch Nightcap.
Oh yeah.
So your chat right now, your chat, you're being nice. Like you
Nah.
gotta call it. You gotta call the play like you see it. You gotta call the play like you see it, Casey.
What am I gonna say? Put some vinegar and something on your toes and tell your wife to eat your toes? I'm like, I'm trying to do crazy things.
Yeah, stay with me now. Stay with me now, CJ. But it's like so. What I would say for this one is with the watermelon picture right here at the top of the clock. Like when you repost it, like reuse this, just use this as the first picture this time, or use this one as the first picture. So guess
Correct.
what? Even though it's the same thing, you're just reordering it, and guess what? People don't remember it, and it still resonates. And then this time, put the logo at the bottom left or bottom right or something, and you might just put a little caption and say, "Hey, this is why we only support local, or we support local farmers, or this is why our quality stands above the rest, and our quality over whatever." You're like, this is a good example.
Oh, that's a great example. And when you take those photos, whenever she goes back to that local farm and takes these photos, get a video every single time you take a photo
Yeah,
because it'll help you can continue to have content to post. Because if just because the photo looks great, but what if you had that exact photo in a video and you can post it the next week to continue pushing content out? And we're not saying you got to post every day, but you can't post 22 weeks ago and that be your last post in a sense.
right.
If
And
you
then
definitely want to draw,
now, one thing too, I would say is, and so let's see when this first post. This one is on March 2023. So I don't know. That's when you started your profile here, or is the other stuff erased? I don't know. But let's say we're gonna assume you started your profile on March 2023. So between March of 2023 and now, which is January 2024, not really a lot of content. Not a real lot. So we definitely want to get more consistent with posting stuff, even if it's repurposing and getting more creative in how we share it. So that's one of the things I would say. But to really, really kind of like stand out, the first thing that stands out to me is if the page feels cluttered. And
I
by
was I was waiting for that, and I don't see enough product videos, product photos. I see a lot of just generic
events,
posts. Yeah, I don't need to see that on the feed.
yeah,
That
so
could be a story thing, and then we can continue to move on to the like this. I don't need to see this.
yeah,
I need to see something to do with the drinks, something to do with the fruit, whatever you're using, not these old school. Because when I look at it, I'm almost thinking I'm looking at a meme page.
mm,
And that's what I thought it was for. I thought we were reviewing a meme page when we first looked at it.
hmm.
If I never read anything on top, I'm thinking it's a meme page.
So like if I literally just landed right here,
I'm looking at memes. I'm not looking at products. I want to see the juices, the photos, the way you do it, record videos of the process of it, of you juicing, of what however it takes. I need to see more product photos. The drinks on the table, the fruit with the drinks on it. It's more, yeah, more of the actual product.
yeah, because like when I see it right now, I'm thinking it's like a page just going to tell me what events are going on in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good one right there. So here's how you do it. Here's how you still support these events that you're going to, and then still promote the product. So for one, we're gonna post more product. Let's just start with that. 3 or 4 times a week, we need videos, and your thumbnails, and we're talking about the covers of these videos, either these reels need to be of product. And they need to be framed good, like this one. Like this one, top to bottom, I see the whole product. I know what it is. I don't want half of the bottle showing and half of it cut off. I don't want things that
So
are cut
CJ,
off.
I don't think a lot of people know what you're talking about.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so because I've talked to and I've worked with a lot of people who are still confused about how Instagram or how the posting works, where you go in and you put your title and then you reframe it to how it's supposed to look on your feed.
Yeah, so like for example, and I'll use my example, then I'm going to show a video. So like this right here, you see how my squares, my head is not being cut off at the top. The words fit within the square, they're not falling off the square. The pictures that you like, it just feels like you can read what's there is not off the square, right? Now, there was a reel, and I'm gonna find it that I
Did you post a
posted.
reel on how to click cover
Yep.
and move it? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I just gotta go back and find it. But let me go find it. But as we're trying to find that video, the one of the things is the reason why we want that is because for one, if somebody lands on your page, let's say if it's a potential sponsor or if it's a potential person I want to work for you, they need to are potentially a buyer, right? They need to be able to one know what the product is. They gotta know it's a product that you're selling, and it needs to look aesthetically good because when there's things that are scattered, like let's say if you walk into a business the first time, a store, and I'm gonna use an example. Like if I walk into the dollar store for the first time, I'm looking like this stuff all over the place. It's scattered. I don't know what's what. What is your main product? Da 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 da. I don't. This stuff all over the place, right? I don't even know what you're specialized. There's no specialty. It's everything is just a dollar. It's just all over the place. That's kind of how I would feel if I landed on your page where it's just like all over. It's not really lined in. Like I'm gonna give you a good example of another juice page in a second, but man, I post so much content. Here, this is grid pinning. Where's the video? There's a video. This is grid pinning. This is what okay. So grid pinning is another one, good one to watch though too. So this one, when we're talking about pinning of three of your most important videos or highlight posts at the top of your page. Like, what do you want to be known for, right? When somebody goes to your page, pick your most engaged content, pick what resonates with your audience. What do you want people to see you first for? Like, so those three are in this video here shows you how to unpin videos and how to pin videos. And I can show you that in person or back on here in IG, on I should say YouTube, if you want. But
Yeah, that's a key, but you got to have more than 10 posts to want to,
yeah.
really utilize that pen.
Man, where is that video? I don't know if I'm gonna find it here, but I'm gonna keep scrolling. But
Okay.
with that one, I did show, like, and that's a good point. Like with Instagram covers, like making sure it fits within the the script pinning and
Yeah, but I mean, well, while you're trying to find it, like, for people listening, it's as simple as when you're going through let's say, for example, when you're going to post a reel, and you're setting the title and you're setting the location and everything like that. At the top right of the screen, you'll see select cover, and in that select cover option, it allows you to scrub through the video to figure out where do you want to what do you want to be your cover, and it allows you to slide the frame up and down to properly format how the audience sees it when they come to your page. And I know that's what CJ's looking for right now, how to do that, but it'll be at the right before you hit that post button and you're creating your title and your hashtags, whatever it may be, it'll say select cover. And that's where you format your cover.
well, for anything, it just shows me. Here it is right here. I found it.
Found it?
Well, no, this is not quite it, but this is another one. It shows me that I need to do this again. So I talked about how to crop your reels is one of the things where I'm talking about cutting off your head, moving it down, like crop your image profile and then bringing it down. That's similar to what we're talking about when we're talking about adding the cover. So it's similar. So when you're about to make the post, just like Casey said, like even I'll go into Canva and create a cover specifically for the Instagram reel.
Correct.
So if you're not doing that, then yeah, we're missing something. You don't have to go into Canva, but I don't care if you're using InShot, I don't know if you're using a different photo app. You need to be creating a cover specifically for that. So your reel could just be a picture of your product. The cover of it could be doesn't have to be from your video as well.
Yeah, and what I do, because while I'm creating my post, I'm thinking of the first 3-4 seconds of the video. I make sure I create my video that there is a screen that I can use for the video, and that's how I like to do it. Because my stuff is more focused on the fitness, I put words in my screen for the first 3 seconds, and I know that this is where I want to use for my cover. CJ will overlap a photo, but I like to kind of just use what's already available because I created the video to have a cover. And you could do it both ways, but it's important to have these covers.
You know, it's so crazy. So you just gave me a content idea because honestly, I had to go back so far
Hmm.
that like these type of posts where I talked about, the even the ratios of where I film focus my content on, like telling people like, hey, the full ratio of Instagram is not even shown in the feed. When there's a difference when you're scrolling through Instagram reels, it's full screen like TikTok. But when you're
Hmm.
just scrolling the normal Instagram feed, you get pictures and videos, and those reels are not totally full screen, as you see here, like in this description there. So I like to show people like, hey, when you're filming stuff, make sure you're focused and it's not cutting stuff off. And like at the top, very, very top of the video, like in TikTok, you can use the top, the bottom, the full thing.
Hmm.
It's not like that with reels, unless
Nope.
you have to click on it to go into the reels view. And you see here, that was a perfect example.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. Yeah. So if you're not actually into the Reels
like
option,
right
it
there,
cuts off your video. Yeah, exactly.
you see
So you
right
have,
there.
yeah, you have to kind of play with both options and make sure your video can be viewed on both those type of platforms. I mean,
Listen,
both those type of views.
these haven't been used for a while, so I'm about to repost those. And then also, and I talked about highlight section. This is another thing. This is like how you can get different colors, different, those highlights look really, really good. But then you can actually reorder them as well. People
Hmm.
don't even know that you can reorder those, and it's not like you have to go in and delete all those and put this back in. You can actually edit the highlights, and so I show people how to do that as well. So these are all things, and I'm glad you brought it up because now I'm gonna just repost them because they haven't been posted in a while. I had to look too far for that,
Yeah.
but that's one of the reasons that we like YouTube because it's evergreen. Like YouTube, I mean Instagram, I gotta search. Look, I gotta scroll back. Like, bruh, that's too much.
Hmm.
That's too much. So that's the last thing I'll say on her page. Like, I don't want to go too much into it, but I'll say on top of everything that we're giving you so far, the bio description you want to work on, we work on the highlights for the covers. We want to post more reels, right? More reels, and those reels should have better covers. And the event covers, those are cool, but honestly, you don't have enough of your own content yet right now, so it kind of feels only like an event page. Like you posted the event page like every 10 posts, it won't feel like that.
Hmm.
And then also when the event is over, you
You
can
can take it
delete
down.
that. Yeah, delete that one.
Yeah, because it doesn't draw people back to your page when they see an event cover. They just
Mhm.
know an event's coming up, and then when it's over, don't be upset or don't be hesitant to just get rid of it because there's other better. And I know it's going to be a thing. There's going to be better content on your page that people are going to want to see rather than a photo of an event.
Facts, facts. And before we wrap up, Casey, look, tell me when we doing this podcast. When we doing it?
Bro, I got you. Look, a couple of weeks, man. Probably like next weekend. I'm sitting down today to record the podcast because we're gonna get snowed in over here. So I told myself we're gonna put some down, get some content done, edit, do a lot of stuff this
How
weekend.
much snow coming your way?
My area, a couple inches. New Jersey, some of the
What?
spots are gonna get about 8 to 10 inches. So we're gonna see.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy. I'm trying to. I'm gonna definitely get you in touch with my boy Najee. Like man, I wish I could pull up this
Is
page.
he
Here it
he's
is.
he's is he vegan?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's why I was like, listen, right
Okay.
now, like literally his home protein company and all that plant
Oh,
based
nice.
protein. Look at this. This is his page here. He got, by
Okay.
the way, 6.7 subscribers on YouTube.
How much? I can't really
Six
see it.
point 6.78. So he got almost 7,000 subscribers. Well,
Nice,
like
nice,
that.
nice.
This is him. Like literally, like when I look at his thumbnails,
Yeah, it's clean. It works. It tells people what they're clicking on, and and
clean.
and it's all. And people have to understand too. It's all similar. So he has a certain style where people know what to look for, and I like it.
Listen, bro, I already tell you, I already know you gonna like it. So like the content is dope. He's dope. Like he comes on here often. Like definitely a cool person. He might be somebody you might want to talk to for your podcast because like
Mm,
his own like you see up here and his this banner. He has his own protein supplement company. So
nice,
you got the literally all that. And I already told him I'm buying some of the protein soon. So I'm beyond that, and we're gonna go up from there.
nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to share that's coming up so people can tap in with you?
No, just look out for the
When you
YouTube
coming to
channel.
Ebony Fair weekend? When you coming to Ebony Fair weekend,
I
though?
gotta. When's the next one, man? When's the next one?
Hey man, hold on. We got April. April, we going to Houston.
April we're going to heat because it's a lot. I got a lot going on. That's the thing. It's hard for me to travel these days.
Okay, so let me tell you this tour. Let me just tell you this tour schedule, and then you can tell me from there. Houston, April 4th to 7th. Miami, June 7th through the 9th.
Oof.
Atlanta, July 25th through the 28th.
Okay.
We come into DC.
DC's easy.
September 13th to the 15th. DC.
DC might be working for me.
And then in Toronto,
Toronto.
later that month.
I love Toronto.
And then you come into Aruba in November.
Yeah, man, Aruba. I'm actually going to Aruba in a couple of weeks, so that'll be nice. Honestly, I got April's my birthday month. My wife's traveling, so I probably can't do that. I think DC, because it's a short drive for me, it's going to probably be the best option.
Okay.
I've been telling you I want to go because I want to be around those people. Everybody making content, everyone who looks like me making content. So it's like that's dope. That's honestly dope.
Oh, look. I'm locking you in. I'm posting this on. I'm posting this on the page. Casey's coming to DC. Let's get it.
Can I guarantee you by that time, my content's gonna be flowing heavy. So I'm hoping for the best at that point, where it's gonna be even better than it is right now.
Oh, I love it. It's already great, bro. I know you got great things coming in. I just appreciate you coming on. Like literally 2 years ago, I know we talked on Instagram Live. You jumped on Instagram Live with me randomly. We had never even talked, and we just kicked it for a little bit. And here we are 2 years later, really on the YouTube. Like I hit you up and you're like, hey, yeah, I'll do it. Like, bro, when? Like, boom. And I appreciate it because like you totally like, for one, like I don't even know how I found your page or vice versa, but I'm just glad. And I tell people, it's like people you meet online and you connect with, and honestly, after a while, it's like, man, they're super supportive, even more than people that are next door to you. And I appreciate you, bro, because honestly, and it's like you just know, like when you bring value and like dope content, like, and I follow YouTube, like, oh, this is dope, and then it just goes from there. And then I can't wait to meet in person, bro.
Nah, definitely. I gotta make some time because I got a lot of friends that are in Atlanta, so I do go to Atlanta quite often.
So wait a second, you come to Atlanta and you don't hit your boy up.
You always in another state when I'm in Atlanta.
Nah, that's true. That's true. That's true. That is true. I can't cap
all over the place.
But yeah, we got my number now, so we'll be in touch. And then lastly, tell people one more time where they can follow you on all platforms, and then we're gonna get out of here.
All right, so Casey Pleasance on YouTube, and then you can find me on Instagram, TikTok under C Pleasance _, and the last name is spelled Pleasant with an S at the end, so Pleasance. Follow me back. Hit me up if you have any questions, comments, even concerns. This last year has been a great year. I am a certified personal trainer. I don't really train that many people, but I just like to help. So if you have questions, let me know. Vegan lifter, vegan bodybuilder, or whatever you want to call
it. Man, my boy Casey, I appreciate you, bro, and we'll be in touch. Everybody, go create. We'll be back with another show this Monday, 7 p.m. It's super dope. And by the way, I'm posting it ahead of time, so if you guys are always asking me about the schedule, just go in there. The schedule's on there. The thumbnails are up there. You can set notifications. Don't want to miss an episode. I appreciate you, Casey. We out.
Definitely appreciate it, man. Take care.
Later, bro.
Deuces.